Alright, YouTube. We're back here with another requested video. This is What If Darth Vader Never Burned? Star Wars Theory. Shout out to bro. Darth Vader's number 2. If you guys haven't checked that out, I'll probably link that at the end of this video. But shout out to everybody in the lineage. If you're not part of the lineage, it's going to be linked in the description and the Twitch. We're going to try to get back in the streaming soon, but I do want to push for the YouTube and everything like that. So thank y'all so much for checking out the videos. I'm going to continue to keep dropping. Most of these Star Wars videos, y'all want to really see all that much type of reaction to certain ones y'all been requesting. So we're going to also get the cinematic trailers up for the Old Republic and stuff up there too. So I'm going to drop probably about like 5-6 videos in a row of Star Wars or whatever, but like I said, incorporate all the other videos y'all want me to react to. And like, so if you want me to react to anything, just let me know in the comment section. But let's get straight to this. What if Darth Vader never burned?
The Force is with you, young Skywalker.
Luke!
But you are not a Jedi yet.
The Jedi, midichlorians.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Star Wars
Revenge of the Sith, Anakin lost to Obi-Wan out of arrogance and impatience. This resulted in his lost limbs from the high ground and then being caught on fire by the emanating lava heat to his tattered clothing. What if, as so many of you have requested over the last little while, what if Darth Vader or Anakin never...
Yo, full potential Anakin, Nightfall, full Vader, all midichlorian cells. I'm not gonna lie, he might have been moving like Darth Nihilus. Is that his name? Nihilus, the one that was taking like planets and stuff, absorbing life from planets and shit like that. Like, I think bro would sit there because he's a different type of Sith. Bro wasn't sitting here playing around with you. He would take everything from top to a whole. Bro, think about that. Taking the life force from a whole planet as a Sith Lord, bro. Just using the Force, bro.
Caught on fire. What if he merely lost his limbs from Obi-Wan and was left there, failing to grab a grip of the soft soil of the high ground? I believe this would change many things. Now, while some may argue that things would end up the same due to his cybernetics, we have to really dive into Vader's life when he wore the suit. I won't go into details seeing as how many videos I've made discussing everything about his injuries and the suit's pros and cons, but I will say that his suit was unbearably painful. From the wrong alloys used in his prosthetics to the wires, needles, and tubes that were mounted on and inside of his torso to aid in his breathing and allow for his voice to be enhanced. This was all caused by the scorching flames he inhaled, which burnt him internally as well as externally. This would negate the need for a respirator, which beeped and flashed indefinitely.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Meaning he could now get a proper night's sleep without being woken. He would still carry the pain and anger of Padme's death and the hatred for Obi-Wan, meaning his lust for power and the dark side would still be very strong, to a much more grand scale than Darth Maul even, since Vader had lost everything close to him. His connection to the Force would still be severed as it normally was, however now he had much more time. Let me explain. The Vader in the original timeline spent hours of his days trying to rehabilitate his lungs. They were what stopped him from growing stronger physically. It was clunky, it was vulnerable, and it drove him insane. Because of this, he would spend time in his meditation chamber to either think, remove his helmet, eat, or simply meditate on his hatred. He also spent a great deal of time in his bacta tank, as we saw in Rogue One, which was the only
My audio be going. I need to get another mic cord at least another cord, because most of my cords are really going bad.
place he felt somewhat human. With all of this free time, he would be able to focus on becoming stronger or hunting down remaining Jedi, including Obi-Wan. His prosthetics would most likely be the same, uncomfortable, misaligned, and outdated alloy limbs that Palpatine ordered for him as a sort of punishment, but also keeping him a servant of the dark side with his long-lasting physical pains. The only issue with all of this is that he would not be nearly as intimidating towards the Imperial crew or Jedi. The elevated boots, black mask, and terrifying voice that was what made him larger than life to most would not be there anymore. He was like a walking god, and to defy him would mean to die. However, now he was just Anakin in darker clothing. He would continue to rule tyranny on the galaxy, perfect his technique uninhibited by wires, the lack of suit flexibility, or poor vision from his scorched eyes, bringing about an even stronger and more stable Vader. the galaxy would recognize him.
Yeah, his mobility, because with the suit, he lacks so much mobility, but with him full limbs and everything, because he was missing an arm already from Count Dooku and everything, but him full potential Anakin, that shit, there, I think the only one that could probably give him a run for his money is probably Luke when he went through the full master, becoming a master Jedi and everything, but even then, bro, I think Anakin's just, bro, he's too much of a problem, bro.
As Anakin Skywalker, the hero of the Clone Wars, as they would respect him even
General
more.
Skywalker.
However, now, knowing that he had turned to the dark side, they would never understand truly why his sudden turn took place. However, some rumors were told in the shadows that the turn of the Jedi on the Chancellor was what made him switch sides. Since Palpatine knew Vader as Skywalker, Obi-Wan had Uncle Owen change Luke's last name to Lars so as to keep the boy safe. Upon meeting Luke, Obi-Wan would continue to tell him that Vader murdered his father. Vader would meet with Obi-Wan again on the Death Star, resulting in Kenobi sacrificing himself as he did. This is where the timeline turns more drastically. So we can go two ways from here. We can either have Vader attack Palpatine now that he is a bit stronger and more wise and more confident in his abilities, winning and ruling the galaxy and still remaining in the dark side, or we can go with option B, which is what I'm going to choose for this time. Vader would now need a special suit. He would have his cybernetics and that was all. The suit he originally has is a superconductor for Force lightning, which means he is super sensitive to it, as we saw in Return of the Jedi. This was implanted by Palpatine in case Vader ever tried to overthrow him. Now that he knew this, he had been trying to overtake the Emperor for a long time. However, his limbs still caused him to not be as entirely powerful as before, severing his connection with the Force. Now, on a side note, for those who don't know, George Lucas did say in an interview that Anakin now had only 80% of the Emperor's potential after his battle with Obi-Wan on Mustafar. All the events would play out relatively the same, however the ending is what takes the biggest turn. The reason Vader died in the real timeline is mainly due to his suit's respirator having been heavily damaged as he carried Palpatine to his doom, absorbing the Force lightning which completely shot his respirator and attacked his skull as he died looking at Luke. In our timeline, this wouldn't happen. He would be a little beat up, however, nothing fatal. Luke would tell Vader to come back with him, and this is exactly what would happen. The redeemed Anakin would go to Endor with Luke to celebrate, where everyone would be shocked in fear at what they were seeing. However, once explained, they would learn to accept Anakin for who he was before Vader and after. The two would truly now rule the galaxy.
I don't know, him slaughtering all them kids in that temple, I don't know if they gonna accept his ass back. God damn, he was in there. The younglings, they were getting cooked. What do we do, Master Anakin? Shit. Nightfall.
See, however,
Order 66.
for peace and justice, bringing rise to a new age of Jedi and reconnecting with the Force ghosts for guidance.
For them to bring Palpatine back as a fucking clone is the most... Why did Anakin even die then, bro? Like, why did he just sacrifice his life just for bro to just transfer his fucking conscience into a whole nother clone? Bro had all them Death Stars and those what's it called?
In the future.
Built and shit. I'm like, man.
What do you think would have happened to Vader had he not have been burned? Would he become ultimately more powerful, or do you think...
Hell yeah, bro! From top to bottom, that boy would have been a problem. Palpatine wouldn't have done nothing, bro. If Anakin was to channel the dark side, be like Darth Raven, channeling the dark side. And if he used the Vapid, I think the one that if he was able to use Samuel L. Jackson's fighting style, yeah, hell no, hell no, hell Mace Windu, fuck that boy would have been a problem. I'm telling you right now, he wouldn't have sat and had to use any type of fighting styles at all.
I think this story makes sense. I hope you enjoyed it, nevertheless.
I don't even think he would even need a lightsaber to fight if Anakin was to sit here and to really be full potential. He wouldn't have to use a lightsaber. Just the Force alone.
And if you did, please smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow.
W video Star Wars Theory. Shout out to everybody in Lineage. Like I said, if you're not part of Lineage, go link in the description. The Twitch and the Discord. Appreciate y'all checking out this vid.